Morbid tales, death, suicide, last words, strong language. Here if you can bear. Thanks. Dearest, I feel certain that I'm going mad again. I feel we can't go through another one of these terrible times. And I shan't recover this time. I begin to hear voices and I can't concentrate. So I am doing what seems the best thing to do. You have given me the greatest possible happiness. You have been in every way all that anyone could be. I don't think two people could have been happier. Till this terrible disease came. I can't fight any longer. I know that I'm spoiling your life, that without me you could work and you will. I know. You see, I can't even write this properly. I can't read. What I want to say is I owe all of the happiness of my life to you. You have been entirely patient with me and incredibly good. I want to say that everybody knows it. If anybody could have saved me, it would have been you. Everything has gone from me but the certainty of your goodness. I can't go on spoiling your life any longer. I don't think two people could have been happier than we have been. We. We who? Virginia Woolf. Profession, writer. If you don't know her, Google her. What was this? Her last letter. After which she filled the pockets of her overcoat with pebbles and drowned herself in a river. What happened? Life and that silly little monster that keeps popping up these days in people's heads, just like that, called depression. Not real. Don't be fooled. You'd ask, but she was clearly loved. Like she's writing this letter to the person that she loved, right? Huh. Love is patient, love is kind, love is slowly losing your mind. People who you think would save you end up drowning you in the end, most of the time. Or you drown yourself trying to keep them afloat. Life and the stupid sentiments of people who feel. Anyway, this started as me wanting to do something about letters. Was clearing out shit, pulled out a few ones that made me smile, remembered a few new ones that made me cry. Both of them broke my heart in equal pieces. Thought of love letters, kind of romantic, going with the weather and shit, ended up on death notes. Ain't that cool? One and the same thing, right? The old school me thinks a lot about making things personal: paper, ink, fragrance, your touch, your emotions, your feelings, blah. Who's got the time? If you aren't heard when you speak out loud, when you're right in front of somebody, how the fuck do you believe these silly little things, notes, is gonna do anything? Hear this. And now, in keeping with Channel 40's policy of always bringing you the latest in blood and guts, in living color, you're about to see another first: an attempted suicide. Yep, this happened live television December 29, 1974 by Christine Schubach. Wasn't an attempted suicide anymore. She shot herself on live TV, and killed herself. Basically, the point being, you never know when a person takes his last breath, how the person chooses to end his life, and what words might be his last fucking words. So pay attention or not. Be the shitty, selfish human being that you are, and I'm pretty sure you're doing very well. But maybe, just maybe, if this was the last thing that I ever wrote, will you read then? Read as in not like a newspaper headline, but for real. Hope is a dangerous monster. Too difficult to kill. As far as I can see, won't make a difference. Nobody's got the time, so let's move on. Letter number 2. To Boda. Speaking from the tongue of an experienced simpleton who obviously would rather be an emasculated infantile complainee, this note should be pretty easy to understand. All the warnings from the punk rock 101 courses over the years, since my first introduction to the, shall we say, the ethics involved with independence and the embracement of your community, has proven to be very true. I haven't felt the excitement of listening to as well as creating music along with reading and writing for too many years now. I feel guilty beyond words about these things. For example, when we are backstage and the lights go out and the maniac roar of the crowd begins, it doesn't affect me in the way in which it did for Freddie Mercury, who seemed to relish in the love and adoration from the crowd, which is something I totally admire and envy. The fact is, I can't fool you, any one of you. It simply isn't fair to you or me. The worst crime I can think of would be to rip people off by faking it and pretending as if I'm having 100% fun. Sometimes I feel as if I should have a punch and clock before I walk out on stage. I've tried everything within my power to appreciate it, and I do, God believe me, I do. But it's not enough. I appreciate the fact that I and we have affected and entertained a lot of people. I must be one of those narcissists who only appreciate things when they are gone. I'm too sensitive. I need to be slightly numb in order to regain the enthusiasm I once had as a child. In our last 3 tours, I've made a much better appreciation for all the people I've known personally and as fans of our music, but I still can't get over the frustration, the guilt, and empathy I have for everyone. There is good in all of us, and I think I simply love people too much. So much that it makes me too fucking sad. The sad little sensitive, unappreciative Pisces. Jesus, man. Why don't you just enjoy it? I don't know. I have a goddess of a wife who sweats ambition and empathy, and a daughter who reminds me too much of what I used to be. Full of love and joy, kissing every person she meets because everyone is good and will do her no harm. And that terrifies me to the point where I can barely function. I can't stand the thought of Francis becoming the miserable, self destructive death rocker that I've become. I have it good, very good, and I'm grateful. But since the age of 7, I've become hateful towards all humans in general. Only because it seems so easy for people to get along and have empathy. Only because I love and feel sorry for people too much, I guess. Thank you all from the pit of my burning, nauseous stomach for your letters and concerns during the past years. I am too much of an erratic, moody baby. I don't have the passion anymore, and so remember, it's better to burn out than to fade away. Peace, love, empathy. Kurt Cobain. Francis and Courtney, I'll be at your after. Please keep going, Courtney, for Francis, for her life will be so much happier without me. I love you. I love you. Kurt Cobain of the legendary band Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Google him if you don't know him. What are you even doing if you don't know Kurt Cobain? Bodhi, his imaginary friend. I never had one. It's kind of weird. Always thought of it as a American concept. We don't have imaginary friends, right? Anyway, it was the first suicide note I ever wrote. I had it almost by heart. I must be around 15 or 16. always was fascinated by macabre shit and, well, Club 27. Almost sad. I'm actually really pretty sad that Amy Winehouse didn't write or leave one when she passed. Yeah, I am a dark person in case you haven't figured that out after 13 episodes. Make what you shall of it and of this episode, and I end this with the last words of another legend, Vincent Van Gogh. I'm pretty sure I would have butchered the pronunciation, but you get the gist. A very, very good morning, people. See you on the other side. La tristesse durer toujours. The sadness will last forever.